we have created our vase form, we will be cutting it out, and after you get it done, you can always go back and add any finishing touches that you might want to. Like, I might take a oil pastel or a white colored pencil and go in here and add a few little highlights in a few areas. I might also take that and go around the edge if I want to. So like I said, this is mixed media. You can mix things up. So after I've got this, I'm going to set this to the side, and then you are going to be creating a collage. Now, one of the things that you need to do with your collage is make sure that you have some sort of form that will kind of represent the edge of a table. It can be an oval table, it could be a square table, it could just be a straight line. I mean, you could just do something like this that represents the edge that your vase form will then sit on, okay? Now, the main thing I want you to think about here is you're going to mainly be working with neutrals. So for example, I've got brown paper, I've got newspaper that you can use to work on this part with. We will be using either just good old-fashioned Elmer's glue or rubber cement, depending on what things you're gluing down. I've also got some old brushes that I keep in water that you can use to spread the glue around. For example, here, I'm just gonna start gluing, and I'm gonna try to do this as fast as possible and also speed it up.
Your walls, drowning your calls, I've tried to hear, you're not near.
So after I get my collage done and I've got everything glued down, and just so you know, like, this is bigger than it looks in the picture, now I can start adding even more media to this. So I brought over oil pastels and colored pencil. Now, most of what I have here is either a neutral color, being the black and white, or the brown, and then I have a little bit of blue kind of mixed in, different shades of blue. As I'm developing this, again, I'm thinking a little bit symbolically, and for this one I'm using, tones of blue, cooler colors to represent someone who's very calm and peaceful. And as I'm doing it, I also am going to go in and I'm just going to define the edge of my table to give it a little bit more depth. I like this kind of look that the oil pastel gives. I might, if you want it to be like a cleaner effect, you could think about using colored pencils. Now, the other thing that you really need to consider is the cast shadow. That this vase form would cast a shadow, and I know from the light source here that the light source is over here, so the shadow would fall this way. And it depends. Like, I'm gonna pull out, I've got a black, I've got a blue, I've got a lighter blue, I'm gonna get purple, I might even have a white. And I'm gonna go ahead and start to define where I want the shadow of this form to fall, because I want it to look like there's some weight to it. I might also just do some of that in there, why not? Just kind of blend some things together. I'm gonna then take my blue in here. However you want to do this, there's no wrong way, but what I will say is I'm seeing an edge here that's bothering me, so I'm gonna get a colored pencil. This one's navy blue, and that'll work. And I'll just blend that line with the colored pencil. And like I said, this is mixed media. We can mix things, it's fine.
But now I'm dry of thoughts, wait for the rain, then it's replaced.
You will go in and start to use your patterns and designs in the background with whichever media you choose. You can use colored pencil, but you want it not to be too busy, just to create a nice pattern that makes a nice composition. So as you can see, I went back in with yellow tempera paint and I added some highlights and details into my stuff just to give it a little bit more oomph. I felt like that the blue needed a friend, so I thought yellow is a good friend to blue. Together they make green, so if I wanted to add a little bit of green in here even, that would give it a little bit more oomph. I could use green when I make my symbol, but I want to show you a little quick technique. Remember, you are adding something in. You don't want it to be super detailed. You don't want it to stand out a lot. It's something that represents a part of you that you don't necessarily share with everybody. So this is just a thing that I can show you. If you get paper and you put a layer of oil pastel down. I'm using white because I want them to be like almost ghostly, not there white. So I've got a layer of white oil pastel. Now I'm going to lay this down. Let's put it like right here. And I'm going to push hard, and I'm going to draw the shape of a little ant. There's his body, and there's this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. There's a little ant. And I pull it up, and he's barely there. And so you can transfer, like, let's say I just want to put a spiral. Maybe my symbol is a spiral. There's a little, you can barely see it. But it's a way to have like ghostly kind of images that don't show up too much, but are there.